Hello, everybody. I am Debbie here. Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Football. I am Debbie here, and boy, what a weekend we have for football. But before we get into that, I'm here with Brandon, the owner of Rate and Rave.
Yes, it's good to be back yet again for more Let's Talk Football, going over that Week 10 recap. And boy, oh boy, what a week for football, though. Some upsets along the way. My word. And even getting into the Week 11 to a preview of this and the usual NFL news. Originally, we were going to have the rant, though, from Victor, but we're probably going to have to wait till next week.
Sure. And we also have Jesse here.
What's going on, guys?
Doing goody, and looking forward to Friday morning. But also, we do actually have a game tonight on Thursday Night Football Prime Video as always, and that is the Titans Packers.
That is right.
And let's see what happens tonight at 8:15 p.m. However, we are going to get started here right now with Brandon on the recaps.
Yep, the recap to week number 10. The start of the second half of the NFL season for this year, 2022. And to begin with this from last week on a Thursday, the Falcons going up against those Carolina Panthers. And with that, the Panthers getting a win over the Falcons, 25-15.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Did not expect that one, but well done for the Panthers. And then the usual get to start off the Sunday games. We first off going all the way to Munich, Germany in this one, where it involved the Seattle Seahawks going up against those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yep, and Tom Brady did it again.
Yep. Yes, he did.
Yep, beating Geno Smith at his own game. 21-16 the final, really close one.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, it was for a good old Sunday morning game. However, this next game, boy, oh boy, this is like one of this was the greatest game for week number 10, where it involves this. The Minnesota Vikings going up against those Buffalo Bills. What a game. What a game for the Vikings and Bills. And when it comes down to the fourth quarter, the Bills kicked the field goal to tie the game up at 30 apiece, and then went to overtime. Vikings kicked the field goal first to take the lead. Bills had that opportunity to win the game. However, it was picked off, in which the Vikings won that one, beating Josh Allen 33-30 in the final overtime period.
That is one of the most craziest football games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So here watched it live.
I know I haven't, but I mean, I heard the highlights of it. I was like, and even probably the Vikings radio play-by-play announcer, I was like, wow. His reaction, though, I will say, was priceless, though.
What about you, Jesse? Did you watch it live?
I was just shocked at the ending. How someone could blow up play like that.
Yeah.
And of course, them going over each other at the end zone, touchdown, and also that catch, Jefferson.
Yep.
And also another catch was great too, Diggs.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And that is, and also I'm kind of feeling both way. I wish the Bills came up on top with the crowd going wild, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad that the Vikings won because if you look at the standings, it helps the Patriots a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, anything can happen, and with
Yep.
that game, that's a huge difference. Which, by the way, for the Bills, uh, as I'm trying to look at here, as for the weather report, that coming uh uh the forecast calling for 3 to 6 feet of snow by Sunday in Buffalo. Last time snow forced NFL to move a game out was Buffalo in 2014 when Chesterfields played on Monday night in Detroit. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with that game. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, which will make a difference. And also, I mean, also, Joe Davis, who was calling the game, which I watched, the Bills Vikings, he's one of my favorite announcers to listen to during the games. He's a great announcer. Um,
Yeah.
so, you know, uh, but, you know, props to him of his success. And I am, looking, you know, that game right there is one of the most exciting things that we've seen this season. And the Vikings, they always come back. Um,
Yeah. They did.
so I want to hear from you, Chester. What is your thoughts of this game?
Well, the
And
Vikings
for
and
both teams.
huh?
For both, and also for both teams going forward with this game.
I think both teams are good. I think both of them. I think typically the team that lost is going to bounce back. You know, I mean, yeah, it was a boneheaded play, but you know, you can't
Yeah,
let that. At the end of the day, you can't let that deter you from the playoffs.
I have to agree. You can't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you still have to win a record, and of course, sometimes with big losses like that will motivate you to do better, get down to work, and I mean for the Bills, they have the um nine. Well, actually, they won't be playing until wait a minute. That's not big rule. They will be playing the Browns next. This Sunday, which the Browns record is 3-6. So basically, the opposite record. So I mean, this game will probably motivate them. Um, especially with the Cleveland coming. I mean, we'll see what the Bills going forward. They're still in the playoff bracket.
Yep.
Um, you have anything else to say about that, Jesse? For both teams.
I think the Bills are going to destroy the Browns. The Browns really don't have a quarterback right now to get them out of the hole they've dug themselves in. I mean, and their star quarterback, is serving a suspension due to unmentionable acts. So
Mm-hmm.
the Bills shouldn't have a hard time. But the Vikings are going to be taking on the Dallas Cowboys, and the Cowboys are coming off a loss, so they're gonna have to contend
Yeah,
with the Vikings.
yeah, and for the Vikings, you have the Cowboys. And then they also got the Patriots coming up on Thanksgiving, which Thanksgiving is 1 week away. We'll get to that schedule later on, but Brandon, what is your thoughts about this game, the game of the year?
Oh man, it was a great game nonetheless. My word, both teams did great, but only the one team came out victorious was the Vikings, winning in that one. Again, got the better of Josh Allen. I think in this one, hopefully Josh Allen and the Bills can learn from that game, getting into like you mentioned, going into next week, which is coming this week, to be honest. Against the Browns should be some motivation going into this. Should be no problem in there as well. Again, star quarterback for the Browns. Again, that suspension for 11 games. Yeah, that really killed the Browns' momentum either way, and won Deshaun Watson with this good old messed up things he did, but that was not pretty for Watson and the Browns either. Again, probably Bills should have no problem getting the win over the Browns.
Yeah.
But yeah. And the Vikings and the Cowboys, man, oh man, it's going to be a really good one too. Hopefully, the same scenario. The Cowboys can have a little bit of momentum getting into the Vikings. It's going to be a very tough team. It'll still be a very good game, though, nonetheless. Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott going at it.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be
Cowboys and the Cowboys back games is going to be at 4:25. So,
yep,
I think I'll have time to watch that.
But yeah, my word, should be a very good one going into this week. That's probably my thoughts going into that. However, this next game, though, involves this. The Detroit Lions going up against those Chicago Bears.
damn.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But yeah. Oh, man. The Lions did it again. Beating the Bears. Last week they beat the Packers. Even though they're not going to make it to the playoffs, though, but still, very, very lucky wins.
Yep, the Cowboys and Vikings will be on CBS in my area, so I'll be able to watch that. And for Fox, will be the Raiders and Broncos, your teams. So, but I'll be watching the Cowboys and Vikings.
Yes. Yep. And they the Lions beat the Bears. Very close one, 31-30, the final. Man, that was still another good one. But again, as I mentioned in the last game, best game for week number 10 to still stay at the least. However, this next matchup involving, as you said, the Denver Broncos going up against those Tennessee Titans. I mean, my thoughts in this one, Russell Wilson had that opportunity, though, to tie the game. However, he overthrew that player. It was not even that close, and it was picked off. I mean, it was still a good game nonetheless, though. But I'll give props to the Titans for this one. Again, got the better of us on this one. Hopefully, we can turn around going into like this coming week and learn from the mistakes that we've been doing. You know, not to overthrow like and everything else. And Mr. Hackett again needs to just clear his mind for a bit and think. It's kind of like thinking before you speak, basically. But yeah. So the Titans winning it over the Broncos 17-10. However, this next matchup, though, involving the Jacksonville Jaguars going up against the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Chiefs had no problem against the Jaguars. Patrick Mahomes did it on that one, beating Trevor Lawrence in this one, 27-17, the final. However, this next matchup involving the Cleveland Browns going up against those Miami Dolphins. Man, no problem for the Dolphins as well. Man, 39-17, the final. Tua beating Jacoby Brissett on this one. Best game for Tua in that matchup against the Browns. It was no problem nonetheless. However, next game involving the Houston Texans going up against those New York Giants, a.k.a. the G-Man. And the Giants got the win, though, over the Texans 24-16. Pretty good team, though, this year for the Giants. Good old Daniel Jones this year. Well done for him. In this next matchup, though, involving the New Orleans Saints going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Lucas's team. And Steelers got the win over the Saints, 20-10.
20-10.
Yep, indeed. However, this next matchup involving the Indianapolis Colts going up against those Las Vegas Raiders. It was a close one, but the Colts got the better of the Raiders in this one, 25-20, the final. And again, with the quarterback situation once more, it's going to be really interesting once again for the Colts. As Matt Ryan retired. And
he did?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting with the quarterback situation this next game. Again, we'll have to wait and see what happens. However, another matchup, though, involving the Dallas Cowboys going up against those Green Bay Packers. Oh, man. I got to, again, what a game, though, between both teams.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. And the Packers got the better of the Cowboys. Kicked the game-winning field goal to win that at Lambeau. No problem on that one. 31-28 in final overtime. Once again, I mean, I will say, though, Rodgers' age, once again, still catching up to him. He has not been doing pretty good as of late, though, in these previous games, but this one probably wasn't too bad in that matchup, though, against Dak Prescott. And with that, Packers winning at 31-28 in the final overtime. Hopefully, as mentioned on here, that Cowboys with the loss, though, hopefully get their momentum back. It's going to be really tough, though, against the Vikings going into this coming week. And hopefully learn from the loss and the stuff that's going to go into that game with the Vikings should be a very good one, to say at the least. All right, in this next matchup, though, the Arizona Cardinals going up against those Los Angeles Rams. And the Cardinals had no problem beating the Rams 27-17. Man, the Super Bowl champions been not doing good as of late. It's gonna be tough for the Rams to bounce back, though. If they keep losing, then in this one we're probably gonna have a new Super Bowl champion for this coming season.
Yep.
However, last Sunday night on Sunday Night Football on NBC, where it involves the Los Angeles Chargers going up against those San Francisco 49ers. Man, that was also not too bad of a game as well. Jimmy G got the better of one Justin Herbert. Really close one, I will say. And that one was 22-16. But at that time now, both of them are at 5-4. And then we get into Monday Night Football from, of course, last Monday night. The Washington Commanders going up against those Philadelphia Eagles. Man, upset of the century in that one. Again, that was no problem for the Commanders to end the undefeated streak of the Philadelphia Eagles.
And there goes their perfect season.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And there.
Hi, Victor.
and also, we got news about the Eagles today.
Oh yeah, that is right.
Would you like to announce the news?
The news. Oh gosh. Again, the 1972 Dolphins still has the record. That guy. Okay. Interesting. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh man. That I did not know about, but I'm gonna go ahead and check it right now. It shouldn't take me as long.
I'll have you read the reaction.
Oh yeah, that's right. I actually okay. I figured that out now. Perfect. Yeah, and as that. Oh, this is gonna be a real interesting name to pronounce. Oh gosh. But however, the Eagles signed a free agent, defensive tackle, Ndamukong Kong Sun, ahead of the playoff run. Yeah, it's close enough. That'll work. Why not? Yep. Signing a 35-year-old defensive tackle to a 1-year contract. That was this coming today, though. That's Suh's decision to join the Eagles comes after a lengthy waiting period in which the veteran knew his services were desired of plenty of NFL clubs, but remained patient before picking his next employer. Though the 5-time All-Pro was cleared, he intended to play in 2022.
Yep.
He wasn't about to latch onto a team that wasn't headed in a worthwhile direction. And of course, the wait paid off with the opportunity to join the one-loss Eagles, a team that expressed confidence in its defensive tackle depth after losing rookie Jordan Davis to injury, then failed in short yardage situations against Washington, leading to Philadelphia's first defeat of the season. And that's tough. Again, As I mentioned, though, the 1972 Miami Dolphins still got the record, though.
Yep.
I thought the Eagles were going to get to break that one, but not this year, unfortunately.
No, I never had a feeling that they were going to do it, but there you go.
Yep, and that's it. And with that, they also, as mentioned, they both add Sutton, and also not on top of that, Linval Joseph as well, that he signed yesterday. And it's or as a ready-made wrecking ball in the defensive interior. It's going to be a real good one, to say it the least, for the Eagles defensively. And I mean, my goodness. It's going to be a very tough team, though. Still. It's, it's no biggie on the Eagles, though. Even though they lost to the Commanders, again, they're going to have a lot of good learning lessons going into the next game.
Yep.
This coming week. Basically learn from their mistake, as mentioned, learn mistakes, and then what they need to work on. In the film room, everything else.
Yeah.
And with that, of course, last week's bye teams, of course, Bengals, Patriots, Jets, and the Ravens were the 4 teams that were on a bye week last week. And now getting back at it once again for this coming up, which is week 11. And as mentioned tonight, though, on Thursday night, we have the Tennessee Titans going up against those Green Bay Packers, as mentioned. Should be an interesting game to see. And getting into the Sunday games, we have, first off, the Chicago Bears going up against the Atlanta Falcons. This game could go either way in this one. By either both teams in this one, either the Bears or the Falcons on this one. However, next matchup, as mentioned earlier, we got the Browns going up against the Bills. Probably the Bills should have no problem, as mentioned.
Yeah.
The Bills should have no problem in this one. And this next matchup, though, the Eagles going up against the Indianapolis Colts. This should be no problem as well for the Eagles. Beating the Bills. Or should I say the Colts, excuse me. Ugh. Get your facts, get your your teams right, Bren. Or in Dominic Williams' case, write that one down. But yeah. And this one's going to be next game is going to be a really good matchup. The New York Jets going up against those New England Patriots.
Coming sign.
Yeah, this should be a really good one. Again, could go either way. Really, really good matchup. And this next one involving the Los Angeles Rams going up against the New Orleans Saints. Again, same scenario as mentioned on the Bears and Falcons. This one could go either way as well. It's going to be real interesting to see what happens from there. However, the next game, though, involving Detroit Lions going up against the New York Giants. Giants should have no problem against those Lions. And, however, this next matchup, the Carolina Panthers going up against the Baltimore Ravens. In this one, probably the Ravens should have no problem against the Panthers in this matchup. And then again, we had some upsets before in this last week. Again, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in this week. However, next matchup, though, involving the Washington Commanders going up against the Houston Texans. Commanders should have no problem beating the Texans on that one. And then the rivalry of the AFC West. Las Vegas Raiders going up against those Denver Broncos. This could go either way in this one. Even though we did lose to the Raiders and gave them their first win of the season, hopefully we can turn that around for the Broncos. Hopefully they can turn that around from their mistake from last week against Tennessee on the road in good old Nashville. Again, could go either way in this one as well. And then this good matchup, though, my gosh. The Dallas Cowboys going up against those Minnesota Vikings, as mentioned earlier on the show. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
And this one could go either way as well. Hopefully, again, Cowboys learn from their mistake and focusing on the film room, and as for their matchup with the Vikings. It's going to be a tough one, though. It's going to be a really tough game for the Cowboys. It's going to be really, really good nonetheless. However, this next matchup, the Cincinnati Bengals going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, this one I would say the Bengals should have no problem against the Steelers, but then again, it could go either way in this one as well. Joe Burrow with the Bengals should have no problem in this one. However, on Sunday Night Football this coming Sunday on NBC, Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. Another AFC West showdown once again. This is going to be a really good one, but I think in this one's going to be the Chiefs going to be pulling off with Patrick Mahomes. Been doing really good as of late. Going to keep on getting the momentum in this matchup with the Los Angeles Chargers. And then Monday Night Football. It will not be in Arizona. No. It's going to be good old Mexico City, Mexico at Estadio Azteca.
Interesting.
Yeah. Going to be in good old Mexico City, Mexico. We have the San Francisco 49ers going up against the Arizona Cardinals. Going to be a really, really good matchup. Either team could go either way in this one. But only time will tell.
I think it's all time.
Oh, there you go.
I said I think a usual time, 8 p.m.
Yep, the usual 8:15 as always. All right. And then the 4 teams are on the bye week this week, and they are the Dolphins, the Seahawks, the Buccaneers, and the Jaguars. That'll be the 4 teams that are on a bye week this week. Man, week 11 preview in this one. It's going to be a really, really, really going to be a really good one to say at the least.
Well, we just got some news that, on 1 games, the Bills Browns already going to be playing in Buffalo has been moved to Detroit. And, of course, that'll be at 1 p.m. Ford Field. And I think this is the first time since 2014, and that was the Bills. So,
yep.
Let's see.
That is right.
I'm gonna go over my TV guide schedule here. As
Yeah,
of course
go ahead.
we got the Prime Video for Thursday Night Football tonight. Um, Let me get to Sunday here. As we go to all right, 1 p.m. All right. Well, wait a minute. There we have the for CBS. We have the Jets and Patriots at 1 p.m. Nothing on Fox except for the Fox NFL Sunday. Um, and then we have the Cowboys and Vikings. Um, of course, on the road due to the weather, which will be at 4 p.m. on CBS. And then for Fox, it'll be the uh, Raiders and Broncos. And then nothing else for those two channels, except, of course, we got Sunday Night Football on NBC. And as for the NFL Network, um, nothing very much there, I believe so. That's for my schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do the news right now, Brennan.
You bet I will. All right. All right, here we go. For the NFL news, though, we have the Rams expect Matthew Stafford to clear protocol to play on Sunday. But it's going to be really interesting. I mean, that was a little tough one for Stafford to have a concussion. It was on November 8th. That was last week. But then he was limited to practice on Friday, but remained in protocol as Rams hosted, of course, the Arizona Cardinals. It was John Wolford started last Sunday, and of course did not practice on Wednesday. But yeah, Wolford did his best, but just again, Cardinals again got the best of the Rams on that one. But hopefully Stafford's back. Hopefully be back at 100% though, and of course was a full participant. McVay said Stafford was a full participant in practice on Wednesday, which is a step in the process to be cleared from the protocol, and expect Stafford to be cleared tomorrow. And Ian says that it's not going to inhibit his ability to participate in practice, be a full participant in meetings, all that kind of stuff. And it's just kind of following the necessary steps to be fully cleared, McVay said. And yep, he's tried to do the best, get Stafford cleared be at 100% going into that game, as mentioned. Can be really interesting. All right, this next news: Taylor Heineke will start again in for the Carson Wentz. Heineke did pretty well though against the Eagles, and of course Ron Rivera of the Washington Coach saying, while Wentz was cleared to start throwing, but he has not yet been designated to return to practice. And then, again, Wentz is going to be a really interesting matchup. Washington has gone 3-1 with Heineke as the starting quarterback, which that's actually pretty good for Heineke. I mean, if he keeps going that way, I will say, basically put, he may be the starter throughout the rest of the games and all that. But again, Wentz is going to be really interesting to see what happens when he does come back. Again, Heineke did pretty good, though, I will say at the least. And the comparing to Heineke and Wentz, with Heineke with the 47.2 quarterback rating in his 4 starts, compared to the Wentz's 32.4. And
that's bad.
Yeah, that is not good, though, at all, on both Heineke and Wentz. And even Wentz, though, with his 6 starts, though. Jeepers, man, Wentz, that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
With Heineke, though, has thrown 5 touchdown passes to 4 interceptions. And but that, again, does not, basically put comparing to Wentz's with his stats and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be really interesting to see what happens in this one. Heineke, it'd be really good. Should be interesting matchup, but only time will tell on. Now, here we go. Oh man, my word. This one is Republicans and House review of Commanders in 2023.
To end it?
Yeah. Now I'm going to repeat this again. Republicans to end House review of Commanders in 2023. Oh my God. Again. Jeepers. And it says the following, that the congressional investigation of the Washington Commanders will end when Republicans take over early next year. Again. Football does not mix well with politics. Nope. It does not.
Why?
Yeah, in the first place. Jeepers. Let me see where I can go. Okay. No.
Why?
Yeah. My goodness. Oh, goodness sakes. I'm going to make sure get this. Okay, there we go. Make sure get this right. Okay, yep. Spokesperson for the House Oversight Committee said there were no updates on the investigation, which included virtual testimony from NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell in a public hearing, private virtual deposition by Washington owner Dan Snyder. That lasted for more than 10 hours, the contents of which have yet to be released.
I have no comment.
Yeah. Me neither, David.
Is that the end of the news there?
Yeah, that'll be for on the House review of the Commanders. But again, all I'm going to say is football and politics do not mix well. That's all I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. They don't mix well. Jeepers. But yeah. I'm done with the news, and I'm going to calm down for that one. But David?
Yeah.
It's time for the, time to take us home, for the wonderful closing.
Yep, and that was something I learned today, and I want to thank everybody for watching. And see you all next week for episode number 11. Hopefully the full crew will be back, but if not, understood. And you know, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And Brennan, I really hope that we could get this. I mean, I guess you could do it on Tuesday if you want, but Tuesday or Wednesday, just any day by Thanksgiving.
You bet.
But in case if you fall asleep again, I'll call you up. But, anyway,
Yeah. Anywho.
and that'll be it for this one. Thank you all for watching. See you next week. I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Over. Don't forget to subscribe to the Advertising Network for great more content like this one.